We're 5 architectural practices. Together we make up 13178 Moran Street for this Architecture Biennale this year. I practiced with Troy Sham. Some of us are from Michigan, Troy is from Texas, and we've worked together on revisiting a project that we did together 2 years ago, and there are 5 individual projects inside.
I did the project in the garage, and the garage is actually a condition in Detroit that ends up being something not used anymore as a garage because the service drive is no longer used. So since we're revisiting our projects, in the revisiting of mine, I chose a chance to use an atmospheric study, the original one about lighting and this one actually about darkness. So it's more of an inhabitable texture that works with the conditions and the zoning of the garage as if to bring only its darkness or the ability to block out its light leaks.
Troy and I did a project that was reorienting the house from the long direction. So instead of facing the street, we would turn it to face into the mid-block of the neighborhood, because the neighborhood is becoming less and less dense and houses are being removed. So we looked at doing a kind of simple reorientation using our project to focus into the backyards instead of towards the street. As the places empty out, there are these backyards that people are starting to take over and have activities and grow vegetables and plants and things like that. And so we think that there's a switch from the kind of privatized main streets of Detroit to a kind of shared new common ground of the backyards, where people are starting to self-organize and have activities and produce a kind of community.
The project that we did here was, it's called Making Friends, and we made a bunch of domestic objects out of recycled plastic from Detroit as a way to kind of imagine different realities for the domestic interior and how might one remake the domestic environment for oneself.
I worked with Adam Feary on a project called Stubblestep, which he'll describe.
Our project was, you could say, like a meditation in a way on the material qualities of Detroit. A lot of times, the photography of Detroit, abandoned houses, has a strong material characteristic. And we wanted to engage that materiality in a way, but do so in a way that wasn't romantic or framing the kind of decay of it.
For us, the common ground was really about the collaborative work that we've done together, where the project is both a collaboration between 5 practices, which is made up of 8 individuals, but also stands as a collection of discrete pieces.
The unique thing about what we're doing for Common Ground and for David Chipperfield and for everybody is that right now you go around the Biennale and all the same names that you've seen for 30 years since 1980 are just all over the Biennale, and there's no new faces. And part of the reason that exists is because the discipline is so splintered. There's no agreement, right? And so for me, Common Ground, all of us disagree. We have very different practices, very different sensibilities about architecture, but we somehow figured out a way to have a conversation. And for me, that's what we represent as Common Ground.
The condition of Detroit, at least for me, is that it's really open and that there are opportunities that don't exist in most other cities in the world, most other American cities. And so it's a kind of radical openness to different possibilities.